I'm Rob Skinner, and this is the Rob Skinner Podcast. Today, we're talking about the fiercest battle you're ever going to face, the battle to conquer yourself, and how winning that battle changes everything. All this and more on the Rob Skinner Podcast. Welcome back to the Rob Skinner Podcast. My goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. There's a quote that struck me and it's impacted me for years. It's from the book The Imitation of Christ, written by Thomas à Kempis. This is over 500 years old. And he says in there, who has a fiercer struggle than he who strives to conquer himself? Yet this must be our chief concern, to conquer self, and by daily growing stronger than self to advance in holiness. Just an awesome, awesome passage. Let me read that one more time. Who has a fiercer struggle than he who strives to conquer self? Yet this must be our chief concern, to conquer self and by daily growing stronger than self to advance in holiness. Let me tell you why this is so real. Shortly after becoming a Christian, one night, an old girlfriend showed up at my apartment at Berkeley. I was going to school at UC Berkeley. And I didn't even know how she even knew where she wasn't living in that town at all. She was living in a different city. I don't know how she tracked me down. I was living in a Chinese boarding house, and she shows up late. I mean, I'm already in bed. It must have been 11 or midnight, and she knocks on the door. I'm like, who is this? My roommate, he was an architecture major, and so he was gone. He would often do architectural models overnight, like pull all-nighters with regularity. So I was left by myself. I opened the door and I could immediately tell she'd been drinking. I mean, I could just smell it. And she's like, "Hi, what are you doing?" And she was pretty. I mean, we had broken up a while before, but she looked at me and she just said, "What are you doing?" And in that moment, I knew exactly what she had in mind. And I also knew this is a test. This is absolutely a test because I'd become a Christian not that long before this. It wasn't just a random moment. It was a spiritual moment. It was a defining moment. And there is no doubt in my mind that Satan was working behind the scenes, trying to pull me back to my old life. He knew exactly where I was weak. And it was just like, I remember looking at her and just going, okay, what's going to happen here? What are you going to do, Rob? And in that moment, I had a decision to make: either go back to my old life, which would have been very easy to do in that moment, or step forward into who God was calling me to be. And so I looked at her and I said, "Hey, I'm going to go back to bed. Have a great night. Good to see you." And I gently closed the door and I locked it. And that was it. I don't know whatever happened to her. It was simple, but it wasn't easy. And I'll never forget how I felt just laying in bed that night. I was happy, not because I had avoided something, but because I'd experienced spiritual victory. God gave me the strength in that moment to overcome my sinful nature in a moment of testing. It was awesome. It was a great feeling because I had failed so many times before, just so many times. And that's what Thomas à Kempis is talking about. The fiercest battle is not out there. It's not those people. It's not this party. It's not this situation. It's not this person. It's in here. It's all within here. That's where the that's where the toughest battle is, trying to get yourself to do what you know is right. It's the battle to conquer self. In Galatians chapter 5, verse 16, Paul says this: "So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They're in conflict with each other." Overcoming your sinful nature is the toughest challenge you're ever going to face. If you haven't realized that by now, we need to focus a little bit more on this. It needs to be your number one priority. Why? Because you can't help others if you're chained to your own sin. You can't multiply disciples if your life lacks integrity. You can't become a 10x Christian while being pulled backward. Listen carefully. No external accomplishment, no financial success, no possession that you can buy or own can ever replace the power and pricelessness of a growing character. I live here in Boston now, and I run into very wealthy people every day. I mean, this is a very, very wealthy area. And I go, you know what? I wouldn't trade my life, any one of their lives, even though they have so much more money than me. I go, the character that I've had to develop over the years is priceless. It's treasure in heaven. The people that I've helped know God, I'm a billionaire spiritually. That's what I think to myself. I go, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I meet a lot of people that they got a lot of money, but man, when it comes to character, they've got chump change. They've just got nothing. And it's sad. Your greatest victory is not what you achieve, it's who you become. So where are you being tested right now? What door do you need to close? Not halfway, not kinda, not like, oh, I'm going to leave it open. If you want to come back later, well, maybe, but decisively closed, locked, deadbolted, because every small victory over self is a massive step towards holiness. Thanks for listening. Here's how you can help support the program. First, sign up for my weekly newsletter. I want to keep in better touch with 10x Christians like yourself. So you can do that on my website at robskinner.com. I'll send you a chapter of my latest book, The 10x Christian. Secondly, please read and review my latest book, The 10x Christian. It's great. It's got a study guide. You can use it in your small groups, at church. It's got questions in the back. You can find it on my website at robskinner.com, or else you can find it on amazon.com, because my goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. Have a great day and make this life count.